Hey guys, welcome to Atari37. Today I'm reviewing this, which is the Marvel Superhero Adventures Spider-Man web quarters. So, this is pretty cool. I typically don't review the Playskool Heroes line. I do collect Imagine X DC Super Friends, and I did collect some of these. Just over the years I kind of stopped with these, kind of because like they just don't really do that much, and a lot of times kind of like they're more simplistic in design as opposed to Imagine X, which does a lot of detail. But I found this on clearance at Walmart for $7, and I mean that's an amazing deal. I think this was originally $30 when it came out, so I mean $7 isn't bad, and yeah, it's pretty neat. And I think this was originally released for Spider-Man Homecoming. Still, it's pretty cool. You have like this huge box, and it's pretty cool because it shows off all the set, and you can like try out all the action features in the box, which is something I like. You have Spider-Man down here, Marvel Superhero Adventures, Playskool Heroes, and Spider-Man web quarters. So pretty neat. And then on the back you have this big picture of how everything works, and you have a bio, and again the name of the set and how everything works. So yeah, let's open this up. So here we have the playset out of the box. I'm reviewing this on the couch, so you might see some stuff in the background. It's just, this won't really fit in my display at the moment, so sorry about that. One thing I don't really like about this set, and it's not about the set in general, but kind of how it was packaged, like you'll notice this kind of like white tie here and here. Like there was ties all over this, even on like the arms, the way it was kind of like wrapped up, it like went into their shoulders a little bit. And it just, if you're getting this set, it does make it a little bit harder to kind of like take it out of the box. Like everything's pretty much pre-assembled. Like this you have to put up here, the crane, and that other thing you just kind of connect in. But yeah, for the most part it is pre-assembled, just other than that. But I think the city, all of it's kind of neat. We got some designs: Daily Bugle, police station, Spider-Man type apartment. I love this little security camera lever over here. I think it's pretty cool. Very well hidden, and you can see a spider, some webs, like I said, buildings, and we have this little, New York kind of like, not like New York, but a little grating, manhole cover sort of thing. I think it's pretty cool how this has a lot of little references and stuff, and you can see the buildings and some more of that webbing effect, which is nice. You got the crane over here, which is also really cool. It doesn't move freely, but it is pretty neat. Also looks like, it just fell. Okay, putting that back in there. Does not stay in place very well. It's on that little connect strip as this is, so you can kind of like have it here and there. I guess you could probably hook those two together too if you wanted. So that's a little weird, but at the same time it's kind of cool, and I think it does connect to the Iron Man playset as well, like that has been released before. And then you have this little bank vault, and it kind of looks like it's something that's being worked on. It's a little confusing, to be honest, what all this is, but it's connected, and it's pretty neat. And you can see this red building back here. So to show you off some of the play features really quickly, over here with this Daily Bugle kind of bulletin thing, you can stand poor Vulture up there, and you can press this little lever, and whoa, oh wait, never mind. Okay, you can stand Vulture up there if this will work, and you push down on the security camera lever, and then it traps him. This falls, it reveals a hole back here, which I think is pretty neat, and the Vulture is now in jail, and I think that's pretty cool how they did that little play feature. It's not a huge one, and most play sets like this do have like a trap lever, but I think it's pretty neat kind of way they did it. I like it. And yeah, over here you have this, which when you pull down on this, it kind of makes everything pop. This is probably the big play feature of the set. So I just want to rotate that out of the way. But you push down on this, and then boom, it just like shoots the webs over here and then out there, and the building breaks apart. And you can see these like web wings and web hands. And the idea behind this, I'm going to be honest, is a little weird. Basically, you pop these arms off of Spider-Man, and you can put these arms on Spider-Man, and again, I think that's kind of weird as a play feature, like that his arms just pop off and you can put on different arms. I mean, I don't know, I think it's kind of weird, but then again, this is really made for kids, so it's not supposed to be like super, accurate to stuff. And I think it looks pretty amazing with the web wings too, how they did them and made them like actual wings as opposed to kind of like small ones that go around his arm. I think they look pretty nice. And speaking of Spidey, I like how they did the details on his face with the indented lines and the eyes and the spider symbol. They also put one on the back too, but it's a little hard to see. And yeah, the arms are cool and the legs. He does have bendability at the legs, and with his arms, they don't rotate on this one, but they do with the other arms just because of the wings. It kind of hinders it. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and I really like the wing effect. And also, this arm includes a web piece that you can use to swing across the city, which I will show off in a second as well. And then you get this alternative pair of arms, which I guess is supposed to be like giant web arms. I'll show those in a second. You can kind of see they're like attached to this computer screen here. They're the weirdest ones to me just because they don't really make a lot of sense. So I'm probably not going to use these a lot, but I like the web ones and I like the one that's shooting a web. But still, this is pretty neat. And I like that they're trying to give you multiple things here as opposed to just like one or two. And I think that's pretty nice. And yeah, over here we have the other play feature. And basically you just push down on the sign. Again, they hid the lever in a sign. I like that. I like how the lever's hid up here. I like how it's hid as a security camera. And I like how they hid this as a sign. And you just push back and then it explodes and kind of reveals a hole. I guess it's supposed to be like, you know, the vultures robbing the bank and everything. It's kind of weird, like I said, because of just how all this kind of like out here. But at the same time, it's pretty cool. And again, I like how they hid the lever. And you also have the construction crane. I don't think the crane actually does anything, really. You can put the characters in the crane, and I think you could probably put Spiderman or something swinging around it. But for the most part, it really doesn't do that much. I mean, it's cool, but, you know, like, aside from that, I don't think it really has a purpose in the set. But I like that they included it. And also, too, to show you off Vulture, because it didn't really show him off that well. I like the designs on his mask. He's got this yellow mask with the red eyes. Kind of see how they did the collar too as this yellow thing. It looks cool. And he has these silver wings, which look nice. And I also like his claw hands. The only thing I find a little weird about Vulture is they also gave him that removable arm thing. I guess maybe like so you can swap him out with Spider-Man's pieces, but it feels a little weird that he has the feature since there's not like any removable arms for him. I don't know, maybe like they're saying like Spider-Man can steal Vulture's tech, but it's kind of weird like how they did that, I think. But again, this really is more aimed at kids, but it's still pretty cool. And yeah, lastly, to show off that web swinging feature, you got to put in the arm with Spider-Man shoots webs. And I like how they did this too with how the web looks. I think it looks pretty cool. And you also have to attach this line. It goes up at the top of this little police station and hooks into here. And yeah, basically you just put Spidey here and boom, he swings. And I think it works pretty well. You know, a lot of times on toys like this, it'll go like here and stop. But I think it's pretty cool that it actually does go most of the part all the way. Like once you get here, he just kind of goes flying off of it, but it's still pretty neat. I think it works for the most part. It does what it's supposed to do, and you can kind of even attack the Vulture a little bit. Let's bring him a little bit closer. He does not want to see him. And boom, there. So yeah, overall I think this is a really cool set. You know, like I said, I don't really collect the Playskool heroes as much. I prefer Imaginext, and yeah, just never really been too big into these, but I think it's pretty neat. Like I said, it was on clearance for $7, so that's a pretty great deal. And yeah, it's really neat. It's got a lot of play features. It's definitely one I think more geared towards kids than collectors. I mean, obviously being Playskool. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and I think it's, you know, I think it's a pretty nice thing to pick up, especially if you can find it at your Walmarts on sale. It's not bad for the price. It has a lot of playability, and yeah, it's pretty neat. Thanks for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe.